When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
Every Who down in Who Newville liked the holidays a ton. But where to get great prices on gifts, they had no idea. None. They searched and they searched for great gifts under $25. Gifts for spouses and friends and even their toddlers. When suddenly one Who shouted, Walmart has what you want, knowing they have Lego, Tree Hut, and low prices to flaunt. So they enjoy the holiday season as Who's often do. Cheering and shouting, Walmart has incredible gifts. Who knew? Find gifts they'll love under $25 at Walmart.
This episode is presented by State Farm. Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the protection of an offensive guard on the football field, but getting an elementary school crossing guard. Sure, they're both guards, but you can only trust one to keep your quarterback safe when the game is on the line. So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Oh, Hilton stay, your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay, a holiday you're saving.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. This season, enjoy spacious, comfortable rooms and friendly service when you book with Hilton instead. Hilton for the stay.
Hey, this is Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast, here to tell you that Michelob Ultra, the official beer partner of the NBA, is bringing NBA fans closer than ever this season with chances to win great prizes, including courtside tickets. Enter now at MichelobUltra.com/courtside. Michelob Ultra courtside 25 to 26. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 21 plus. Begins on October 1st, 2025 and ends on June 30th, 2026. Multiple entry periods. See official rules at MichelobUltra.com/courtside for free entry deadlines, prizes, and details.
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the Birds of the Round Table. I am your host, Ryan, and with me is David for another edition of the Reese and Niece show of the Birds of the Round Table. Shane, unfortunately, could not join us. He's got some family commitments this week, which understandably many of us do. But we're going to talk about the Commanders game, talk a little bit about the Bills game, and then we'll get you out of here and we'll all have a happy holidays. Before we do, David, how the heck are you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. Looking forward to talking about this game. It offered some challenges, we'll get into it, but it offered some challenges and some kind of work that to do before the playoffs. I think it kind of gave the Eagles, some challenges in certain ways that will benefit them long run.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. If you're joining us, please make sure you like, follow, share, comment for sure. That's always big, as we love to hear from you guys and your thoughts on this Eagles victory over the Commanders, the first of 2 games in 3 weeks. This one was down at the awful Commander Stadium. I have been there a few times and never wish to go back. David, what's just without getting into offense, defense, whatever, what's the main thing I think that you take out of this game, this victory over the Commanders from the Eagles' perspective?
I mean, I guess for starters, they began the game chasing history. They ended it by becoming the first NFC East champion in back-to-back years and back-to-back 21 years. Is that what it is? I believe
since 2004. Yeah.
Yeah. So that has relevance. It doesn't mean much as far as, their goal of winning a Super Bowl, but it does show that, that they came back despite all of the struggles they had this year. Everybody's killed them all season long, and yet they're still, top dog in the division, which is good. And I think another thing you can take away, which the stat blew me away when I saw it, was they fumbled the opening kickoff, Will Shipley, which just put them behind the 8 ball immediately. And I believe it said it was only their 9th takeaway of the season, which was just insane to me. I mean, 9 turnover for Philly, which is just crazy. I mean, I can't even believe that. I mean, so starting off the game in that manner, I think, never ideal, but if you're going to have to overcome something like that, this was the opponent to do it with, somebody who they could, kind of scheme to get back into the game with, and it did set them back. And they did kind of at first play a little hesitant, in my opinion. They were being a little safe. And then, obviously the wheels came off for Washington there. But yeah, I think my biggest takeaway is just how they overcome adversity, quite honestly. I think that was a big hurdle to overcome to start the game, because a bad team doesn't overcome it that easily.
Yeah. No, agreed. I like the point of, the Eagles have definitely dealt with quite a bit this year. On multiple levels, multiple, punches being thrown at them. And it hasn't looked pretty, but they're here. They're division champs. They're going back to the playoffs once again. I don't believe do they technically have a shot at the 1 seed?
I don't think the 1.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, what is it? Seattle's like 11-4. So I don't know. We'd basically have to win out. They'd have to lose out. Then,
even 2 is hard, really.
Yeah. Well, two base. Well, I don't know. The Bears do play
lose twice.
They play the Lions and then the Niners, I think.
Niners. Yeah. They had to lose both.
Schedule. Yeah. But either way, we have one real opponent left in this season in the Buffalo Bills. And, listen, couple of games ago, we were, the sky is falling and the offense is done. And listen, you can only play the opponents that are in front of you. And 2, when you're in a hole, you gotta take small steps to get out of that hole. And that's essentially what they did with the Raiders and essentially what they did with the Commanders. They're taking tiny steps. And they're looking these last 3 weeks, honestly, because the Chargers, there were a few things offensively that I thought was good and something to build on. They continued it in the Raiders. They're continuing it with the Commanders game. But yeah, it's the first half wasn't pretty, but man, they just kind of turned it on in the second half, and they looked legit. They looked scary. They looked like a team that they get hot at the right time. They have the experience. They know what it takes. This could be kind of a sneaky, hey, everybody kind of wrote them off, but, listen, watch out kind of thing. So getting into the specifics, we'll stick with kind of the offensive here. What's one main takeaway offensively from the Commanders game that you want to point out, or maybe there might be a few, but.
Yeah, they opened the offense under center again, which they've done the last couple of weeks. Brown and Smith got a lot of targets. In fact, Brown had more targets in, I believe, the first quarter than he did in any other quarter in his entire career. So they were really trying to funnel him the ball. And the first couple drives, it didn't work, but the second time, I mean, they were methodical on that second, third drive.
Yeah, I think it was the second drive where they scored the touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, it was and if not for a penalty, it took one of the touchdowns back. I mean, it was basically 4 plays of 15, boom, end zone. He connected with Goddard, I guess, on the 15-yard touchdown, which tied a record for him. I think that was his 10th of the season.
And by the way, what a beautiful play.
Yeah.
Everything about it. I mean, it was, I know the weight of the play certainly isn't similar, but it was very reminiscent of the catch. Where he threw it the only spot where it could have been caught. And Goddard is amazing at high pointing and just getting a finger on it. He's catching it.
Yeah, it was one of the best throws, definitely of the season. It could be top 5 throw of his career. I mean, it was that impressive. But that drive, he hit Devontae for 17. Then another aspect that's been missing was a Jalen Hurts run. To pick up another first down, 12 yards. Then a 15-yard pass to A.J. Brown. So it was 3 plays, 3 first downs, capped off by a 5-yard touchdown pass to Smitty. And, they ended the quarter with the lead 7-3. It was, just one of those games where you can start to see the offensive line, even when they were struggling. I loved watching Saquon go over there and try to hype all of them up to keep this going. I don't know what her name is, Brittany or something like that, Thick and Fit or something, whatever. She recorded it and posted it on X. It's like gone crazy on there. Like whole bunch of people, Devin something has reposted it as well.
Devin Caney.
Yeah. And, it just basically showed Hurts over there, just trying, rallying the troops, and they just never gave up. And I think we also saw that Saquon hasn't lost anything. Like on a couple interior plays, Jurgens just got smoked and Saquon still got by. But I think you're starting to see the running game work because of the design runs and the willingness of Hurts to, scramble a little bit more. The only downfall that I've noticed is the tush push. It really isn't working. And it probably is not going to because of the injuries. I mean, Jurgens' neck, and I know Shane kind of touched on this last week. The injuries that Dickerson and Cam are going through, they could be long-term type of problems. Not enough where they can't play football, but they might not be as dominant as they once were. I mean, they're very hindering issues. But when you're dealing with a neck problem and knee problems, I mean, it's not good.
Yeah, no.
It's pretty problematic, and I don't know that they're going to be able to do that. So, and I just like the way they were a team again. And again, it's not that they beat a bad opponent. It's what they're doing to integrate the new plays into the offense, in my opinion. It's completely revamped. And it's not like 50% of the plays. That's not what it is. It's just, in the moments that matter, they're executing well and they're calling the right thing. And that hasn't happened all seasons. Aside from Jake Elliott, I like the offense a lot.
Yeah, well, we'll get into Jake Elliott in a little bit because it is something that definitely needs discussion. But yeah, no, you're right. It was such a, again, I think the first half was just kind of, figuring some things out. Obviously, you make those 2 field goals, you feel certainly a little different about the offense. But yeah, that drive was beautiful. I mean, you had you start with a 16-yard pass to Smitty, 14-yard run for Hurts, and then another 15-yard pass to AJ, and then another one to AJ, and yeah, it just was kind of a very beautiful drive that ended with the Devontae Smith touchdown. So, but
and they ended the half on a good 2-minute drive. They got all the way down to the 39, but Elliott missed back-to-back field goals. But they were moving the ball. It was optimistic because they had, 60 more total yards at halftime or something. I mean, they were outplaying them, but
yeah, no, and the fact of the matter is they were doing it multiple ways.
Right.
Usually when the offense is doing all right, it's usually, oh, well, this is clearly just a passing game and, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe that, finally we get a little bit of run game going. Now, this was everything. I mean, Saquon was running nicely. The receivers were catching balls. Hurts was throwing them. Hurts was running. It was finally a mixture of everything that this team can do and can do well. And yeah, listen, you got to convert those, drives into touchdowns. But again, I think that's less important now to kind of focus on that. But yeah, I thought offensively, again, this is another, game that, you basically scored 30 points, if you count even one of those field goals. But that's an average of 30 over the last 2 games, and that's steps, taking those incremental steps. And now not that Buffalo certainly has a monster defense, but again, it's a little bit better than the Commanders defensively wise. Now, unfortunately, the only problem is Josh Allen and that offense certainly can punch back. So that's going to be a different aspect that we haven't had to deal with the last 2 weeks. But speaking of defensively, let's talk about the defense here. We're once again doing it without Jalen Carter. It's funny, these last couple of games, you're not doing it with your best defensive and your best offensive player, Johnson being out. And so you don't have Carter. You lose Nakobe Dean right away. And I think they kept him out for more of a precautionary factor.
Yeah.
Everything I've read, himself talking, says everything.
He was walking normal after the end of the game, too.
It looked fine.
Yeah.
So Campbell comes in, takes him a few plays to kind of acclimate himself because, to be honest, he hasn't really been playing that much. But I thought he played really well. I thought that the D-backs played exceptionally well. And again, I thought, our front four got a good push. I think Jordan Davis is just absolutely blossoming into a stud before our eyes. I read something that there's only one, so he's second. There's one more player, Leonard Williams, who has more
defensive stops.
Yeah, stops, as they call it, are negative plays, and it's only by one. And, he's played, one more game. So realistically, he's running at such a high level. And he's been so important with Jalen Carter being out, and the fact that you're potentially going to be getting him back this week, because, if you think about it, Lane and Jalen potentially are ready to come back. Week 18 might be a rest game. So if you're going to want to get these guys something, this is the only chance you have. But before we get into specifics on the defense, what's your opinion on, say they're both ready, say we know we're not going to play anything for week 18. Are you playing them? Do you sit them? Do you give them more rest? What are you doing?
If they can't play versus the Bills?
No, if they can play, do you play them?
If the field is all right. Like they're expecting snow showers and stuff. I'm not risking them in inclement weather. Like I know a lot of people probably not, they would disagree with that, but I'm not putting two guys who are having problems on the field in that type of weather when it's, more than likely they're going to be the 3 seed, in my opinion. And they're two guys who, quite honestly, probably don't need very many reps to just come back in and start dominating. So
right.
I would be leery of doing it if it's bad weather. Now, if it's all fine, yeah, I'm playing them at least a half. I'm getting, I'm going to try to get something under their legs again, get them moving, getting them, used to football hits and whatever. But again, one person on the defense and one on the offense, if you ask me who didn't need it, it would be them. So
yeah,
I'm not that concerned.
That's kind of my thought is like, Lane don't need it. Lane's been in this league for way too long. He's dealt with injuries, and he comes back and he's just the same dude. Jalen Carter, again, if I had to pick one, it'd be him, just because, he's
done it.
Yeah, he's certainly done it too.
Yeah.
But I think if, conditioning wise, I think it would be better to get him a little rough.
If you had to pick one or the other.
I had to pick one, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's him. No doubt.
Real quick before we get into some defense, checking in. Do you think we play the Niners in round 1? Right now, theoretically, we are the 3 seed. They are the 6 seed. We would play them. But I don't know. I mean, the West is up for grabs. I mean, you have the Niners, the Rams, and the Seahawks all within
a game.
Tonight, it'll be a game of each other. And they all play, they all play each other pretty much. So it could be anything, honestly. And who knows, maybe the Packers can sneak in and steal, the 6th spot. So yeah, it's going to be a weird, wild finish, especially
because their tie could come into play there.
Well, right. Exactly. Doesn't matter that we beat them because they have that stupid tie. So. The Niners would get the 1 seed if they win out, which they very well could. They start tonight with the Colts, and then I think they play the Bears.
I think you're right. Yeah,
they have a tough schedule. I think either way,
they do. They have 3 games.
Colts, Bears, and Seahawks.
Yeah, they have 3 tough ones.
Yeah, so if they do win all 3, they definitely would deserve it.
Purely on history, I would rather see the 49ers than Seattle. I think we're 1-10 in our last 11 matchups versus the Seahawks. Yeah, and I know it's a year-to-year thing, but there's something to that, especially traveling 2,700 miles to the Pacific Northwest. It's not a great trip.
Yeah. Now, granted, they would be here, but
in round 1, I mean, I don't want to play them.
But yes, I get what you're saying. Believe me,
championship
I
game. I hope they're bumped.
Personally, yes. If I had to choose one out of those 3 West teams, I'm choosing the Niners.
Yeah, agreed.
So, Colts, Bears, and Seattle. Thank you, Brandon. All right, so let's get to this defense. Let's talk about it. What's a takeaway or 2 that you have from this defense?
I mean, they were basically lights out. They gave up the 40-yard play to McLaurin. And that was pretty much the Washington offense. I mean, that was pretty much what it was. We went into the game discussing the mobility of Marcus Mariota. He had 1 carry for -1 yards, and then he left hurt. So it was a non-factor. I was hoping they'd get a little bit more work seeing a mobile quarterback, but they'll see him again in 2 weeks, I guess, if they need to.
Yeah, right.
it appears from the tough talking of Dan Quinn that he's going to try to exact revenge on the Eagles for going for 2 points. He said, "We'll see you again in 2 weeks." You might see the backups, brother, but yeah.
Yeah, right. I get it. Like, listen, what are you gonna say? But like, come on.
They were doing it because of analytics, not to
Right. Yeah,
pile on.
exactly.
Yeah, it was what was it, 29-18? They were making it so a field goal and a touchdown couldn't beat you. They were forcing you to have to get a 2-point conversion or 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. I was like, at first
Just
I was
silly.
confused, and then I was like, oh, well, wait a minute, that does make sense. It's
And their kicker
2
just missed 3 kicks.
Well, right, yeah, well, that was definitely going through my head, but I was like, "Nah, he's pretty good with the extra points." But yeah, two touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions, and then a
Right,
field
yeah, I
goal, you're
mean,
still at least tied, so, like, whatever, who cares?
yeah,
But
he was crazy. But yeah, in general, the defense, I mean, they swarmed, they tackled, they closed space the way champion defenses do in late December and January and now February. Washington never found a rhythm. Pressure came from everywhere. The coverage was good. The Commanders, were just searching for answers all night long. They were inconsistent, at times undisciplined, like at the fight. And then you mentioned Jordan Davis. I posted during the game. He's been so dominant that most people haven't even realized Jalen Carter's not out there. Like, he has completely played the role that well. And he just had another dominating performance that night. He's been a game wrecker and, more importantly, a stabilizing force. And if the Eagles are to, make another challenge for another Lombardi, it's going to be the defense that, carries them more than likely. If the offense can just score 24 points a week, probably, they're going to win. I mean, and one thing I didn't touch on with the offense was the explosive plays from Saquon slowly coming back. He
yeah,
broke off a 48-yarder in this one. Tank had a 20-plus yard burst. I mean, you're starting to see a little bit of this explosiveness again.
exactly, and that's what I'm talking about is that, that's what could be scary about this team is this team has kind of been laughed at and, the offense is this and yada, 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 and, well, listen, maybe they were just kind of slow playing. Just
Yeah.
like saying, you know what? Let's not give them our A game. Let's give them our B game. And we should still win enough games and get into the playoffs. And then let's turn it on. We'll all be a lot more rested for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
And
highly doubt that, but like it just seems like great
I mean, I
timing
kind of
for
do think Jalen Hurts was trying to preserve himself. I actually believe that he was trying to avoid hits throughout the season and stuff. And if they were winning games, everybody was complaining, you're running this many hitch routes, you're doing this, you're doing that. But if they're still winning games, he could care less. I
well,
mean,
sure, right.
he's not taking hits and they're still getting W's. So it's frustrating for everyone else, but he could care less.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he obviously doesn't give 2 craps about what the media
No.
says or what this person or that person or, local, national, doesn't matter. He does. And that's one thing I got to say I absolutely love about
I do
him.
too.
It's he just cares about winning. He doesn't care
Look
about
around the
anything
league.
else.
Mahomes out with the ACL, Minshew out with the ACL, Daniel Jones out. I mean, he's not wrong either.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think the Eagles, I know a lot of people want to see Tanner McKee, but if you think they're winning the Super Bowl with them, you better pray for another Nick Foles style run, brother, because that's about the only way that's going to happen. But
I'm pretty sure we used up that prayer a couple of years ago.
could you imagine a Tanner and Nick statue out front? But anyway, that would be pretty crazy. But back to the defense, Adoree Jackson, I thought he looked, pretty good. He's been stabilizing.
He has been exactly more than enough of what we've been hoping the entire year. And he's finally found that groove where, again, he's not going to kill you. He is going to make plays and he's able to handle it all right now. I think he's been one of the most important parts of stabilizing this defense.
Well, look what happened when he left. Keely Ringo came in, promptly gave up a pass interference to the 1-yard line. I mean, Ringo's struggling, man.
Yeah,
and if that was our answer.
Can I just say R.I.P. to
Keely? They'd have been in big trouble.
I was rooting for you, kid. I really wanted you to be the CB2 here, but.
And a small shout out to Cooper DeJean for the interception. It comes out that he's allegedly dating Nikki Bella, and then he celebrates with the John Cena
right?
Sully.
I saw it. What do you do?
I don't know much about Cooper and his defensive abilities, but that took some balls, man. So he said it's been planned all year.
Right.
Whatever, but yeah, hopefully it was, man. But
I know that.
she was there rocking on all her socials the 33 jersey.
Yeah,
She
I
was
saw
in
it.
the locker room. Let me rephrase that. She was actually in his locker last week.
Oh yeah,
at the thing. So yeah, I don't
and
know. I found that
she was
interesting though.
there during training camp
Yep.
1 week, and yeah, so yeah, she.
But when he did the wrestling, I was like, I wonder if that's Cena. And then he got in front, and yeah, he's
Yeah, sure as hell was. I thought
yeah.
the same thing. I was like, yeah, because I don't know it either. So I had
Hopefully you don't
somebody.
bump into John, but yeah, I liked it.
Right. He still seems like a nice enough guy to, whatever. But JH has another question here. Could the Eagles get the number 1 seed if some NFC West teams tie? Yeah, listen, I think, well, because what the first tiebreaker is if you've played head to head, right? Easy one.
Yeah,
The next one, is it common opponents or is it conference record?
I think it's conference.
Okay, so then we have a better conference record than
But Seattle would have to lose both because they've already got 12.
yes, they would have to lose out. We would have to win out. We would then have a better conference record with them. But then that
Yeah.
means that because they would lose out, that means San Fran would then have 11, so they'd have to at least win one more game.
Right. It's a lot. But
Rams, we definitely have a better record than conference,
yeah,
wise, but we also beat them, so whatever.
I guess to answer his question, it's mathematically
Mathematically,
possible.
yes. Yeah. Technically, yes, but you need that one guy
Yeah,
who
not
comes out
probable.
every year on like NFL Live and does all of the different crazy scenarios. Be like, they clinched the 1 seed if they win, and then this team loses, and that team loses, and this team wins or ties, and blah 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 blah. Like, we need that guy we need to unfreeze him and
Yeah,
come out and give us a scenario breakdown.
this is just from Google, so take it as you will. Eagles would have to win out. Seahawks would have to lose their remaining 2 games. Bears would have to lose their remaining 2 games. Rams would have to lose 1, and 49ers would have to lose 2 of 3. So
Okay,
possible,
possible,
yes,
sure.
but
Yeah, I mean that all does
probable, no.
fit. That all does fit about right. So yeah, theoretically. Listen, I gotta tell you though, not that I'm not rooting for it, but I don't know if my wallet can handle it this year. Last year was a rough go, having 3 home games. This time, obviously, it would only be 2. So we'll take that.
If they're the 3, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, last year's 3 home games was unforeseen and very expensive.
Thanks to the Washington Commanders for beating the Lions. That
Yeah.
is how that happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that wasn't probable either. It was also expensive.
Very much so. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. We'll obviously have a much better idea, come after next week, because then it's just one game, and everybody kind of knows what's what. Who knows? Maybe Indianapolis can upset the Niners tonight, and that's part 1 of the puzzle, But anyway, so let's talk about Jake. We jokingly, back when we used to do our over and unders, we used to jokingly, Dives would put how many missed field goals would Jake Elliott kick this week. And listen, that was kind of in the middle of the season, and he figured it out and turned himself around towards the end. Right, was great in the playoffs. I think he missed 1 kick in the playoffs.
10 of 11.
Yeah. So did what he needed to do when he needed to do it. But now Jake hasn't been great all year, but now, I mean, come on, missing those 2, I know technically, but theoretically it was 3 field goals missing, and he just doesn't look the same. And it's happening a lot later in the season than kind of his last year's struggles were. And I don't know, again, it's kickers, so I get it. It's, unfortunately, sometimes kickers are just riding high, and then just fall off the cliff.
Yeah.
I hope that's not the case, but
To quote him, a lot of that is due to mental reasons. Like it's, problems, just mentally processing things. But he said, this isn't mental. This is technique or process driven, which is far harder to figure out. I mean, he's going to be watching tape of the process of the strike point on the ball, of, the
Yeah.
snap, the whole. He
Sure.
doesn't know what's wrong, but he is confident it's not in his head. It's something to do physically. It's either the technique, strike point, or the process, because he has gone through 2 long snappers this season.
Yeah.
And
True.
it has, he had the same guy. Like, a lot of people forget that. He had the same guy for, since 2017. Um, and this is new, and that is something that the Eagles normally were very great about doing. Like, before that, it was what, Dornbos for like 7,
Right.
8
Yeah,
years.
exactly.
I mean, they've had longevity at that position forever. And the reason we've never mentioned a long snapper in 15 years is because they've been perfect for 15 years, like literally.
Yeah.
So it's been something that was kind of overlooked, and he really struggled with the backup long snapper. But since I don't even know who the guy's last name is now, Howley, I don't even know.
Hewlett, Charlie Hewlett.
Yeah, sounds good. He's just coming back, and maybe it's just a procedural thing. Maybe just something to do with the timing is off. But
Well,
yeah,
where the hell is Rick Lovato?
right, yeah, he needs to come back to.
Right. I mean, I'm down. I'm down to figuring out.
Yeah, the same. What was it? 4: Brandon, Rick, Lane, and Jake. Yeah, same 4 could get a 3rd ring. Come on back, brother.
Come on, yeah, like unretired, dude. We need you.
Yeah, but
Right now, it's what Cal Adomitus. That's who
I
I
think
guess
I
there's
think
some
Hewlett's
either.
back.
Is he back?
Yeah, I think he's back. But again, he just came back, and I think the process has just been just kind of wonky for some weeks. So hopefully it's that, and they can just get a lot of reps in together and kind of fix this thing. I wouldn't expect him to start being somebody who's going to start nailing him from over 50, because he struggled with that basically for 2 whole seasons. In fact, the one in the postseason he missed last year was over 50 as well.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that in an era where all of a sudden people are hitting 60 with consistency, that we don't have one who can hit 50. But that's what we're dealing with. But
Yeah.
I do believe that they're going to have to get reps to kind of correct that, because he doesn't think it's in his head. And he got a little vote of confidence today with Nick saying they are not looking at all at other kickers, because after the Commanders game in the locker room, he was pretty defeated, saying, hey, if they're going to go looking, I get it. This is a, business that's based off of production, and I'm not producing. So, I think he kind of thought it was coming. So, that he was going to have some competition, but they gave him a little vote of confidence, which hopefully it goes a long way. And again, they're just going to have to put in the reps, man.
Yeah. So what do you think is kind of maybe more scary is the fact that it is like if it was a mental thing, or if hearing that it's more of a physical thing. What's worse, I guess.
Physical.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
kind of because I feel like the mental thing.
He thinks it's worse too. He said, if this was in my head, I could fix it easier.
Yeah.
So that's all you need to hear. If he thinks it's worse,
Yeah.
it's worse.
Yeah. Well, listen.
But again, he lost the continuity. I mean, there
Yeah,
are
and I get
reasons.
that.
Nobody wants to hear it, but
No, you're right.
there's truth to it. Just like the O-line all year, everybody's complained and bitched and fussed, but there is truth to the fact that people are hurt, that, they're playing with 2 different linemen basically than they did last year, the whole season this year.
Yeah.
Steen has been new. Fred Johnson's in and out for Lane.
Or
You have Dickerson in and out. I mean, Toth has been in. Mailata has struggled without a stout Dickerson beside him. I mean, nobody likes to say that either, but Mailata's had a really hard go of it this season.
Yeah.
It's been the most I've seen him struggle.
Yeah, no, easily. Phil checking in, our good buddy Phil Stifle. Check him out here on the Eagles Pinball Network. Better off keeping a proven champ and Jake Elliott out there than the unknown kicker off the street.
Agreed.
Hey, listen, Justin Tucker is available. Just saying. If you can get past his wandering hands.
Yeah, pure karma alone, I'm staying away.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
The Subaru Share the Love event is on from November 20th to January 2nd. During this event, Subaru donates to charities like the ASPCA, helping support more than 142,000 animals so far. When you purchase or lease a new vehicle during the 2025 Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru and its retailers will make a minimum $300 donation to charity. Visit Subaru.com/share to learn more.
This episode is brought to you by Ulta Beauty. Holiday cheer is here, and Ulta Beauty has gifts for everyone on your list. Treat them to fan-favorite gift sets from Charlotte Tilbury and Peach and Lily. Go all out with timeless fragrances from YSL, Ariana Grande, and Carolina Herrera. And you can never go wrong with an Ulta Beauty gift card. Head to Ulta Beauty for gifts that make the holidays brighter and even more beautiful. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. You know, one of the perks about having 4 kids that you know about is actually getting a direct line to the big man up north. And this year, he wants you to know the best gift that you can give someone is the gift of Mint Mobile's unlimited wireless for $15 a month. Now, you don't even need to wrap it. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
You don't need AI agents, which may sound weird coming from ServiceNow, the leader in AI agents. The truth is, AI agents need you. Sure, they'll process, predict, even get work done autonomously. But they don't dream, read a room, rally a team, and they certainly don't have shower thoughts, pivotal hallway chats, or big ideas. People do. And people, when given the best AI platform, they're freed up to do the fulfilling work they want to do. To see how ServiceNow puts AI to work for people, visit servicenow.com.
Well, hopefully Jake is just, in the lab, just watching film and going it over with the special teams coordinator and trying.
And the memes.
Yeah.
The new nickname in the memes. I liked Jake the Make a lot. Missy Elliott with him doing the dances. Yeah, it's not fun.
That's not fun at all. So hopefully.
Somebody said he's too old, and I looked him up. I was like, how old is Jake? Yeah, he just turned 30. Yeah, I don't think he's too old.
No, but
kickers can sometimes go to mid-40s.
I mean, we've definitely. I mean, it's rarer now, but like I felt like back in the day, how many of the Anderson kickers were like
Gary,
45 years old? Morton and Gary, and they were like 45 years old, just kicking away. They didn't care, but yeah, no. Brandon does have a point here. Jake Elliott was the unknown kicker off the street at one point. He sure was.
17, yeah.
Well, hopefully.
And so was Dicker, kind of. And they got rid of him, who's been just a stud over there for the Chargers.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Who knew?
Hopefully.
Eagles scouting department with kickers, bro.
Yeah, apparently pretty good. Hopefully he has enough time to kind of figure it out. Because we're definitely going to need him if we're going to be going on a playoff run. That is for sure. All right, let's quickly go over the Buffalo game for this Sunday. Buffalo coming in. They are currently 11-4. They just beat the Browns, but they struggled to beat the Browns. They did beat the Patriots finally. They're on a nice 4-game win streak. After beating the Steelers, Bengals, Browns, or Patriots and Browns. But their defense has certainly been giving up some points. So certainly something that hopefully the Eagles can take advantage of. Speaking of that Eagles offense, David, what is one matchup offensively that you were looking forward for this game? Eagles offense versus Buffalo defense.
Yeah, I normally always say the running game, but I'll just go with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. As you mentioned, the Bills' defense struggles a little bit there in the pass defense. I think it's something they can exploit. Again, I think the weather could play a large role in that. You take that for what it will. I think the Bills mirror the Eagles in a lot of ways, just kind of oppositely. Like they've played sloppy at times, like narrowly beating the Browns, and just they haven't been playing their best football, all consistently all season. A lot of their problems are opposite, are more defensively, where the Eagles have struggled offensively for much of the season. But they're two teams who kind of played down to their competition, kind of struggled, kind of meandered around. The Bills have, a lot of incentive in this game because they still have a chance to be the number one seed in their division. I think they're one game behind the Patriots for the division and the one seed. So, it's a game that probably means more to Buffalo than it does Philadelphia, which is certainly not, to say that the Eagles aren't putting their best foot forward. But, we earlier mentioned, would we put Lane and Jalen in a game that's having snow showers and all? Me personally, I'm not, because it's not as important. If I'm the Bills and can win out and get the one seed, damn right I'm sticking in Lane and Jalen Carter.
Yeah, sure.
But the likelihood the Eagles getting it's a little, slim. But until it's zero, you got to try.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's the matchup I'm looking forward to see. I think they've been integrating some, pretty unique things lately. I think Scott Loeffler, like I joked last week about him calling plays. That was a joke. He's definitely not, calling plays, but I think that you're starting to see a lot of the, aspects of the offense that he had in Bowling Green starting to pop up in Philadelphia. The seam route, which everybody saw how excited Jalen was if you watched the Hard Knocks about that play. It's not just window dressing anymore. Receivers are pressing vertically, trying to, get the linebackers to either retreat into coverage assignments, and I think you're seeing some of his influence also in the way that Dallas Goedert has thrived this season. I mean, he was the architect of making Harold Fannin Jr. become the greatest recipient of his philosophy last season in Bowling Green.
Sure.
And I think you're seeing, Dallas, benefit from it. So
absolutely.
A term you hear a lot is, marrying the defense and the offense, or marrying the run game and the pass game. Well, Scott likes to marry the seam routes and vertical concepts together. I'm very familiar with him because he was the OC at Virginia Tech for a few years, all the way back in 2013. I've spoke with him before. I've talked to him about a lot of this stuff. I'm very familiar with what he does, and I do think he's had an offense. Say in this offense lately, I think you're starting to see little nuggets of his, philosophy. I think it was things that took a long time to teach in the QB room. It's not something you can do overnight. I don't think it's something they did 3 weeks ago and said, put all your stuff in.
Right.
It's just stuff that just took a long time, like the play action, the under center. Jalen, never did that a lot. So, it's something that they integrated slowly. And the importance of hitting the check down, it's becoming a little more second nature to Jalen, but I think it was just a slow burning integration of his influence from QB coach to QB. But I think you're starting to see the benefits now, and I really like the direction and that's going, and I'm curious to see them keep building on it.
Yeah, no, agreed. You can definitely, you said it perfectly. You can kind of see little nuggets here, little play here, play there. That definitely is very Bowling Green-ish. And you're right. My boy, Hair Fanning, by the way, dominating, just like I knew he would. Just saying. Just saying. But yeah, it's I think it coincides with Nick taking a more active approach on this offense 3 weeks ago. And perhaps that includes kind of maybe bringing him in more of like, hey, listen, like now let's start trying some of these things.
Right.
Again, it's not like they just came up with them.
Right. Yeah, they practiced them when we were at camp.
Well, that right, exactly. So they've been learning it. They just have not been using it.
Right.
And now I think with Nick kind of helping out the offense, I think now they're trying to maybe add in some of his influence into that offense. And for, again, it's been working. So I think that is the beauty of this offense, is that you have an ability, you have the talent, obviously, but you have the ability to really open this thing up by kind of utilizing these players at their best, abilities and the ways. So I think this is all heading in the right direction, which is obviously what you want. Couple of games to go before the playoffs, you're starting to hum. That's the way to do it. So, All right, switch over to the defense. Eagles defense versus the Bills offense. What's one thing you're looking at, David, for this game?
Just the defensive line and the linebackers staying disciplined to contain Josh Allen. We've beat it for years how difficult the Eagles have had a time trying to cover mobile quarterbacks.
Yep.
And they're going to have 3 weeks of them with Mariota and then Josh and then Mariota probably again. I do think, like we mentioned last week, it is good practice going into the playoffs as they're going to see a couple mobile guys, if they win a few games here. So, he's a dual threat. He has a high ceiling to disrupt plays. I don't know if you have to spy him, but they might. They have the personnel in which they can do that. And they have the defensive backs that they feel comfortable enough putting on an island at times to do that as well. I don't think there's a receiver Buffalo has that necessarily scares you. So you can probably play a extra guy in the box more frequently, especially if it's inclement weather. But yeah, I think that's the matchup is, just the defensive tackles still playing the way they have, containing Josh Allen, not necessarily doing blitzes or trying to sack him off the edge, but just keep him in the pocket and don't allow him to step up.
Yeah. No, agreed. I think I'm going to be focusing more on the run game.
Yeah, Cook is good.
Cook has been absolutely amazing this year. And
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if when the Bills offense is really going, they're able to utilize Cook and certainly. Excuse me, couldn't hit the mute button quick enough. But no, when their offense is cooking, not to use that as a pun, it's when James Cook is actively involved, getting his carries, getting his targets in the pass game. It really does seem to kind of open up, for these other receivers. Which again, they have an old Brandon Cooks, they have Josh Palmer, Khalil Shakir is certainly all right. Their young player Keon Coleman is pretty much a healthy scratch at this point. And then you got to worry about their dual threat of tight ends. Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid can certainly help you up the middle. But again, I feel like we have the defenders to kind of match up really well against, the middle of the field slot, whether it be tight end.
Isn't that nice to say we have the linebackers to defend these things?
I was going to say, whether it's, slot corners, whether it's linebackers, we absolutely do.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. If I ever get to meet any one of the linebackers, now granted that theoretically Matt Campbell preseason, but if I ever do, I'm just going to a little bit like, thank you
Yes.
for finally being the linebacker that this city has been begging for decades. It brings a tear to my eye how beautiful it is. And anybody who knows me, watches this show or watches any show that I've ever been on for the past, however long I've been doing this, 17 years, I've been crying for linebackers, and we finally have them. Anyway, why don't we wrap this thing up? David, give me your score prediction. Give me an MVP for this upcoming Buffalo Bills matchup.
Yeah, the inclement weather going to Buffalo, which is a really hard place to win. I was very close to going with Buffalo, but I just can't do it. I just think the Eagles are too resilient. I think they're playing really good football right now. And I think that they're, not done in any way, shape, or form and not satisfied with the 3 seed. If they have an outside chance to move to 2 or 1, they're going to go for it. So I do think it's going to be a close game. I don't see a blowout. I think it's extremely one of those competitive edge of your seat matchups. And I went with the Eagles 24, Bills 23, but you couldn't get it any closer.
That is.
And my player of the game, who I think is going to have a really big impact, especially if Jalen Carter doesn't play, is our buddy Jordan Davis again. I think it's going to have to come down to him just having, taken over the interior of the offensive line from Buffalo. And I'm looking forward to the matchup. I like the challenge. It's actually the team who I preseason picked the Eagles to be playing in San Francisco or San Jose, wherever the hell their stadium is out there. Santa Clara, wherever the hell it is. Yeah, this was what I thought would be the Super Bowl this year, and still could. So I'm really looking forward to it. I like the matchup against Cook and Allen, but I think it plays to the Eagles' strengths, which is, the trenches.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give them the edge just because of that. If they had anything on the outside, I would probably have swayed the other way, but I don't see anybody getting over the top on Q. I just can't see it, and Adoree will have a little bit of help, and I just like their chances.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Love it. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 31-28 Eagles. Again, very close. I think this one is going to be one of those heart attack games where we're on the edge of our seats and praying for something to get a victory. I think they're resilient enough to go up against Buffalo in Buffalo. Hopefully the weather's not as bad. If certainly it is, I'd push that score down quite a bit, but I'll keep it where it is now. And I'll say, I was going to go with an offensive player, but you kind of swayed me with the Jordan Davis talk. So I'm going to say Nakobe Dean, my boy.
Love it.
He's going to come back from the hammy, and he is going to be in Josh Allen's face all day long. He's going to be seeing Nakobe in his sleep after that game. So anyway, we appreciate everybody for chiming in the chat. Thank you, Brandon, JH, Phil. Make sure you check out Phil on his show, his network, Setting the Trends. And he also does some an Eagles check down for the Eagles Pinpull Network. Make sure you're also following the Eagles Pinpull Network for all of our shows this week. Our schedule's a little jumpy all over the place due to the holidays. Obviously, my other show, Football Smack Talk Show, we did that right before this. Depending on how you're watching or if you're listening, my apologies for the mixed up schedule, but just pop in every once in a while. You'll see your favorite shows one way or the other. So make sure you put on your notifications. That's the way I do it. So easiest way to know when we're going live, and you can pop right in when we do. So that's going to do it for us. David, what do you got going on? What do you want to tell the people before we get out of here?
You can follow everything on my X handle or at Philly Sports Network. I touched on it during this podcast, but I have a full piece up on the new wrinkles that Scott Leffler has brought to the Eagles offense throughout the season. I think it went live today around noon or something, but you can find that on my X handle, or actually I haven't even posted it. So you can find it at Philly Sports Network. I haven't even, or tomorrow morning. I think I scheduled it for tomorrow. I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah. And just follow everybody on here. I mean, like he said, the schedules are a little wonky this week, but if you can't watch live, everything is on every single podcast, from Spotify to Apple to whatever the heck else.
Google.
Yeah. I have no idea. Twitch. I don't know what the hell that is, but whatever games, whatever you can do, you can find us somewhere. YouTube, speakers, Spreaker, whatever the hell.
I used to use Spreaker back in the day.
Yeah, I'm getting too old to remember all these things,
yeah, right.
But yeah, you can find us. Just
all you got to do is search Eagles Pinpull Network.
Yeah, that makes it really simple.
We'll come up somewhere, whether it be just Google us. And we'll come up, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, X, either way. Well, we'll come.
And I think Shane recorded a show earlier today for the.
Think he did.
I think him and Shane and Paige are on the Shane page.
Johnny today, or was it him and Mark?
Yeah, I don't know. It's one or the other, but you'll find Shane's on there. So you missed him here, but he did record a show earlier this morning.
Yeah, like I said, couldn't be with us today. But we want to wish everybody a wonderful holiday season, however you celebrate. Enjoy the time with family, enjoy the time with friends. And most importantly, I hope you all get a lot of Birds gear for Christmas.
Do you want to show them your new Christmas present to yourself?
No, I don't want to,
But you want to save it for after Christmas?
Yeah, exactly. I'll save it when I'm actually able to wear it.
Yeah, definitely start the show next week wearing that, please.
I could. I might be like a starfish, just kind of. Anyway, I hope you guys all get great Eagles gifts for your holidays. Be safe, be happy, have some drinks, enjoy the Christmas games as well. And we will check you guys out next week at our normal times. I believe so, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's for-
That could be the
New Year's Eve. I don't
New
know.
Year's Eve. Yeah. I don't know.
It
Probably,
might
though.
affect my Wednesday show because that is New Year's Eve. So,
Yeah, we'll probably be back Tuesday.
yeah, we'll probably be back Tuesday. But anyway, appreciate y'all. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy the birds this weekend. And we will come and check y'all out next week for hopefully another Victory Tuesday. So for the Birds of the Round Table, I'm Ryan. That's David. We will see you guys next time. The Birds.